Good afternoon, and welcome to another slapdash version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your slipshod and slovenly host, Voice of Doom. Okay. That was the sound of the hearing that I had to listen to yesterday from the U.S. Congress. And I don't even know why I should even bother talking about this. I knew what would happen before it started, and I didn't want to waste my time watching it. But I did anyway because I don't want to make comments without having some evidence. But it's going to be another haphazard diatribe, not well planned at all. Thoughts off the top of my head. Okay, Grandma Garland took the oath to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help him whatever he worships, and sat down and started being grilled by the congressmen and women, or whoever they are, whatever they identify as at the time. And it was everything one would expect from a hearing of a apparatchik and sycophant and bootlicking scum associate of Petri Dish, who's in charge of the Justice Department of what used to be the United States. It was a horrible disgrace, and he did everything that you would expect him to do. I can't comment on that because it's under investigation. Everything's under investigation, so you can't comment on anything, so you're a total waste of time. Now, by all rights, and in previous societies, a person such as Grandma would just be taken out and hung unceremoniously in public, and that would be that. And it would be a lesson to other attorneys generals to better come up with answers or stretch hemp. Now, I have already told you about the contrasts of previous governments, previous administrations, previous Congresses when it comes to hearings. I happened to be at the right place at the right time to where I had to watch every last minute of the Watergate hearings. Now, if you take yourself back in time, you would have to be older than me, because I was about 12 or 13. And most 13-year-olds were not watching the Watergate hearings, but I was, because my aunt and cousins were into it, and they were going to get to the bottom of that. And the Watergate hearings lasted all summer, all day long. And I think it was a joint congressional hearing, if I remember correctly. And I still remember a lot of the people that were on that committee. It was Fred Thompson was the majority counsel. Or was it minority at the time? He was a Republican, so I guess minority. There was Sam Dash, there was a majority counsel. There was Stan Inouye from Hawaii. There was Sam Irvin, North Carolina, I don't know. There's all kinds of famous people. Weicker, Talmadge, Baker. And I still remember him. I can still picture him in my head because I had to watch him for the whole summer long. Now, you get a witness up there. They started with the lower echelons of the Watergate scandal and grilled them for days. And each senator or congressman had as long as they wanted to grill. And they got down to every single brass tack, every detail. No stone was left unturned. They did not pontificate. They did not lecture. They just asked questions, and the guy in the seat answered until he was probably sick and had to be wheeled out. And then they go on and on and on up the chain of command until they reach the high mucky mucks who were involved in that. The Colsons, the Ehrlichmans, the Haldeman's, and the Attorney General, who I believe went to prison, if I'm not mistaken, along with all the others. Now, the congressman did not put them in prison, but they made a referral after the hearings, and they were tried. And Magruder and a lot of those other people went to prison. Very cushy prisons, where they were allowed to play tennis a couple hours a day, and basically probably had offices and cushy sentence. But that was then, and this is now. Now we have, your time has expired after 5 minutes. So what happens is the D's use their 5 minutes to either pontificate or ask Grandma how he's doing on the Trump allegations, and commiserating and clutching their pearls over the fact that, you know, the Goppers are actually trying to interfere with those proceedings. They're doing exactly what they said we should not do by asking questions about why Orangey's being indicted and what the charges are and what evidence you have. They're interfering with an investigation. So we know what the D's are going to do. They're going to try to make Grandma look good and tell him what a great job he's doing and how he's being persecuted, and they apologize for any inconvenience this may be, when he should be getting back there trying to get more on Orangey. And the Goppers realize they're not going to get a damn thing out of this guy. What? You're going to ask him, did you put out a memorandum to investigate parents at school board meetings? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I figure they should be investigated because they're a threat to society. Yeah, he's going to say that. Did you rescind that order about having spies in the Catholic Church to see what's going on? I can't believe you would accuse me of that. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a pious, holy person. Come on. The whole thing is an insult to any intelligence, which there's very little left in what used to be this country, but those who are intelligent are insulted. And I think he should be dragged out by his heels, face down, and put in some incarceratory facility until he dies of natural causes. Because I don't like him. I don't like any of those people in the Justice Department. Can't stand them. And I would love to see draconian measures. That's not democratic. I don't give a crap. Democracy died a long time ago. We tried it. It doesn't work. Democracy is a means to cheat. When you can manipulate the common clay's vote, do all kinds of manners of malfeasance to make the vote come out the way you want to, then forget democracy. It doesn't exist. So for these D's, it is a threat to democracy. If Orangey is re-elected, that's it. We're done. All right. We don't want to talk too much more about that. But your time has expired. All your time has expired, okay? All of you, your time is done. You're accomplishing nothing. You knew you would accomplish nothing. And so a lot of these Goppers knew at the outset going into the hearing that they would get no information whatsoever from this guy. So they proceed to ask question after question and don't let him answer. And then he could smirk and shake his head like, you're not allowing me to answer. I'm deliberately not allowing you to answer because we know you're full of crap. And we know you're not going to answer, so I will ask a question and not let you answer. And then the goppers look bad because they're not fair. It's obvious what they're doing, and I agree with it. I say muzzle him for good. You know? And I mean literally muzzle him. Take a dog muzzle, stick it on his face, and leave it there. And leave a little hole that you can stick food into. And give him gruel until he passes away from natural causes. Because, as I said, I don't like the guy. I don't like looking at his face. So it was very hard for me to watch the hearings. But we also have another crisis coming up because summer is drawing nigh. In fact, I believe it is the autumnal equinox today. I'm not sure, but it's September 21st. So summer is over and fall is on the way. And we will fall because a lot of the migrants who are seeking asylum because they are just being persecuted like hell in their country, they cannot get anything done in their own country because the government's coming after all these peasants. You can see the mayhem. You can see the hordes moving across Honduras and Guatemala, killing peasants by the millions. So they're fleeing north to what used to be the United States, thinking they'll get a fair shake here. And they are getting a better shake than most citizens are. They're being put up in hotels. They're being given free phones. They're given this. They're given motorbikes. They're given food. And if the food isn't part of their indigenous likings, then we'll change it to what you like. You just tell us what you like to eat and we'll bring it. I wish they'd do that with me. But I had to pay for everything. And it's untenable, but I guess there's 4,000 people right now at Eagle Pass under the bridge again waiting to come in. Now, winter will come and things will calm down a bit and it'll only be 2,000 people a day coming in instead of 4. But, I mean, it begs the question, how do we accommodate and how do we absorb these thousands of people? We can't. It doesn't matter if we do or don't because the elitists know that our days are numbered. So it really doesn't matter what they do. It's like a party we had back in the 80s when me and some people sponsored a kind of a rave, but it was in a warehouse that we knew was going to be torn down in a week. And you invite a bunch of punks and have a bunch of music in a warehouse that is common knowledge is going to be torn down. What do you think they did? They did atrocities. The place didn't need to be demolished by the time the party was over because it was gone. And we found out later that they weren't going to demolish it right away, but the deed was done and that was that. So that's what they're doing in what used to be the United States, and I'm afraid their time has expired. All of our time has expired. You have 5 minutes. Well, I want to reclaim 2 of my 5 minutes because we spent 2 minutes arguing about this guy's 2 minutes that he lost, and now we're using my time to discuss. These are not hearings. I wouldn't even call them a dog and pony show. That's an insult to dogs and ponies. It's a travesty. And just knock it off. Don't even bother with the impeachment inquiry, because everything you find out will be under investigation, and they can't talk about it. So I'd say just pack it in. Give it a rest. Bring on the conflagration, and let's get on with this, because we're not getting anywhere with these hearings, and we're not getting anywhere as a malignant wasteland of infected bacteria. So let's just bag it. I didn't say a whole hell of a lot. I just wanted to rant. Some of my rants are pretty good, so we'll leave it there and then enjoy what's left of of experiencing life as we know it. Good night.